Okay, we're going to have a look at putting some tracks and clips on here in the timeline and having some music in the background and just seeing how that works with video channels and audio channels. Got a folder of clips here in the project panel, and also I've got some music files here as well. Now they're all set up. Now what you can do, if you have these all in folders as we've seen before, you can have it as a list and sort of open up these folders and see that. Also you can zoom in and out, or you can just have them there as icons. You can actually change them here as list and icons there. Also what you can do is you can double click on that and it will open up its own panel, and then you can go through your clips there, and the one you want, you can then double click on that, and what it will do, as let's close that down, is send your clip to the source window up here, which just another way of working with your files. And again, you would set it up in the source window if you wanted to have check it or have in-out points. Now you can drag, just click on the image and just drag that down and put it down here. I'll just delete that because what it's done is put my audio channel on there, which I don't want. So what I can do is I can just click here, which is on the video icon, and drag that down, and you'll see it hasn't dragged out my audio channel. I'll just delete that again. If you do just drag out the whole lot and you want to just get rid of it, you can right mouse click on it, you can unlink, and then you can click on it and then delete it. It's just another way of doing it. The other thing you can do is you can actually click on the audio channel and just drag that out separately. It might be the case that you've got a bit of footage that has sounds you want to use, but the footage you don't. But I'll get rid of that. So what I've done is I've just dragged this out and it's on here and there's no sound, it's been detached. Now if I click on here, it'll open it up, and I've got some music tracks on here, probably longer than the track itself. But if I want to put that on there, I've got it on here. I can sort of test it out there, and I can put it up here when I double click on it, and it'll appear in the source window. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I've got my music track on here. Now if I go back here, I can find out how long the length of this clip is. I just hover over there on the top bar, and it's 17 seconds 19, the duration. So I'll just have it here on 0, the playback head, and if I put a I on the keyboard for the in point, and I drag it along, and I get it to say 17 or near enough, and then I use the arrow key to nudge it and put 17 seconds 19, and I press the O on the keyboard, and that will put the out point. And an easy way to drag it down at the bottom, it's got drag audio only, and I can drag it down and put it on that file, and it should near enough be the actual. You might need to trim it. Now once it's on there, when we press so the music is now placed upon that track. Now if you want to move them both around, if I shift click and then I come along and say link, now that'll link those both tracks together. You need to make sure you've probably cut them so they're bang on and the right length, but now you can move them around and they'll be linked, and you can unlink them later on. Now we're going to look at how you adjust the sound level. What I've done here is I've opened up the audio in the on the audio track, and then you can actually just drag this up or down to actually see the waveforms in a little bit more detail. You'll see a yellow line, and if we start playing, what you can do is move the yellow line up and down to make it louder, or to make it more quieter. Now another way of doing it, you would go up to audio mixer sequence, and what you can do is whatever track it's on. Here we've got audio track 1. So this appears up here for audio track 1, and if you had audio as well on there, you can have it on the 3 different channels. And what you can do is adjust these separately, or you can adjust them all together as a master. So we've only got audio track 1. So if I start playing here, I can start taking just that audio track down or take it up. Again, you need to have some headspace up here, so you don't want them peeking out too much after certainly 0, no more than probably -12 or -6 up at the top. Okay, this time I'll just open up a clip. I come up here, double click on here. This puts it in the source folder. I would put in and out points if I wished, but I'm just going to use the whole clip because it's not too long. Now, what I want to do is just drag it out with the video as we've done before. I don't want the sound. I put it down here. Then I open up my music. I've got 3 different clips. I'll go for this one. If I just double click on that and put it in here. Now, down at the bottom, it's already got something cut on it. But if I right mouse click and I clear in out marker, so if you have put some markers on there for some clips and it still has them, then you right mouse click on that in the bar down at the bottom and just adjust it. Now I'm going to just put the playback head just here. I'm going to put a in point and then move it along here to somewhere around about 19, I guess, just over 19. And then I'm going to put 0 for out. Once I've got that, the easiest way is to drag the audio only, and I slot that into here. So it's placed it on there. Now it's a little bit longer, so what I will do is drag it in a bit. So I come along here, I click on that, and I just bring it in so it connects with that, because it's going to be linked to it eventually. Now once that's put on there, I shift click both of them, then right mouse click, and then I link. And what happens now is if I move these along, they will both be linked together. And once you've put something on a clip in the timeline, that might be your best bet unless you want to move things around. Now if I play it. Okay, so that's all working really well. Now down at the bottom, we have, when I open up the soundtrack, you can see it in a little bit more detail. This is waveform. If I drag this up and down, it will give me more detail on there, and I can see how the sound is coming along. Okay, now that's fine, and the music's at the same level, but usually what you want to do is the music to maybe fade in, and then you want it to fade out at the end. Sometimes you might want to fade it in and out, because you want to have some speech or something else going on. So this is how you would have background music, but drop it and bring it up. Now we're going to have a little look at how we would amend that. Now down in the effects, down the bottom in the bottom panel, we'll go for audio effects, and if you go down, lots of things to choose from. We're going to go for volume and drag that and drop it onto that sound clip. Now once it's there, I go up to the effects control. Now I open up volume here, and it's got bypass, but also it's got level. Now you need to make sure you've got the panel aside here, which shows you the bit of the timeline moving along, and you'll see 2 different lines on there. So first up, we're going to sort of put a bit of a keyframe in there. So how you just do that, if I reduce this right down here, that will sort of put a keyframe in. Now if I move my sort of timeline along the playback head, sort of up about here, then I can take my volume up a little bit. And then I could, if I wanted to, move it along and take it up a little bit more. And you'll see how these work out, and you can actually click on them, and then you can adjust them to however you see you want to do it. And then I can move it along here. Again, put this up here. I can move it along to have it a little bit louder, and then as it comes along, more or less the end, I can have that going down a little bit more. And that's basically how you can just control it with these little keyframes. Again, I can put another one in here. Now you'll see these will appear down in the timeline for that audio track, and you can actually click on these and move them along and take them down further, take them up and adjust them. So now if we play our track, okay, so that's how that will pan out, and that's how you can change some basic volumes on an audio track.